So, what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. And in this episode, we're going to talk about iPhone 15 Pro Max, what I expect to see to help you guys decide if this is going to be something you consider waiting it out for. Now, this is my iPhone 14 Pro Max, but I'm actually rocking this red case in this video specifically because that's one of the first things we're going to talk about is a new deep red color option. Might be the signature color for the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So what do you guys think about deep red or a deep red Pro Max type of color? The last time we seen a red color on a more higher end iPhone was the iPhone 8 Plus. And I've been waiting for this for years. So if they bring like a maroon, like kind of like this case, or even a deeper red, I think it will be pretty awesome. Let me know your thoughts on that one down below. Now, nextly, the next thing I want to talk about is the price hike. So I do expect to see a price hike for the iPhone 14 Pro Max to the 15 Pro Max. You're probably going to see a $200 price hike. And one of the reasons is because finally Apple is rumored to be bringing a periscope camera here to give the iPhone a little bit more zooming abilities to closer match it with something like a Galaxy S23 Ultra. So with that being said, I do expect us to see a price hike. And there's rumors saying that the highest end iPhone is probably going to go for all the way up to $1,800. So with foldables out that are $17.99, like the Pixel Fold and the Galaxy Z Folds coming out, the Z Fold 5, I do believe that, Apple is definitely going to raise the price this year, considering that, the S23 Ultra at its base price is actually higher than that of the 14 Pro Max. And if they throw a periscope, it just makes sense that they're going to increase the price. So the iPad Pro has a USB-C, the MacBooks have USB-C, but the iPhone is still using Lightning. So can we get USB-C? Well, that's probably something I expect to see on the next iPhone is USB-C charging abilities. So that's something to look forward to if you use USB-C on your other devices. Now, the next thing that Apple might be doing here this year is giving you a little bit more rounded edges. So the squared design here that you see on the iPhone 14 Pro Max might actually be going to a little bit more round. Now, they're already a little bit round, but it's mostly a squared body. I do think we might see a little bit of a rounder corners. Now, that's questionable. We're not exactly sure that's going to happen, but there is a chance of a little bit more rounded corners on the next iPhone. Some people are more into the squared bodies, so I don't know how much people are going to love that, but I don't care what Apple launches. People are going to buy it. You already know that, so I don't think it's going to bother anybody. Quite honestly, they bought the iPhone 11s, they bought the iPhone 11 Pro Max, 12 Pro Max came out, they bought that, so they're going to buy it either way, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm just saying, they're likely going to give you a little bit more rounded edges, but that one is a little bit iffy. We're not exactly certain about that. Dynamic Island will probably see some mention, but not too much since we didn't see much of a mention at the iOS 17 conference, the WWDC, so I don't see much of that happening. And the next thing I do really expect Apple to do is make the bezels thinner. There's not much they can do with this current iPhone design to really take it to the next level unless you're going to do a foldable or flipping style device. But what they can do is make the phone edge to edge even more. You can always, try to get it closer to edge. I don't think this is a practical thing, but it's going to be a nice design touch. And we do have something else to mention. Do you see on my Apple Watch Ultra right here, we have an action button on this baby to go ahead and do workouts and stuff like that. There is rumors that we're going to see an action button on the iPhone 15 Pro Max, like you see here. In addition to that, on this Apple Watch Ultra, they have a titanium casing. Now, titanium is a little bit less prone to chipping and stuff like that, unlike stainless steel you'll find on the iPhone. So I do think we might see a titanium shell similar to that of the Apple Watch Ultra on the iPhone 15 Pro Max that's on its way. So that's just something I also think might actually come. So you might be able to look forward to that as well. Now, the next major upgrade is going to be in the way of the cameras. Now, the cameras are already fantastic, amazing, probably more than most people are even using or taking advantage of. But because the Xiaomi 13 Ultra's out, the 13 Pro with their 1-inch sensors, Sony's rocking these amazing, the manual cameras, Samsung with their periscope, I do think Apple is going to up the sensor. I think they're going to make the sensor a little bit larger, and I think they're going to try to compete a little bit closer with those high-end Android phones on the market. Even though their video is still beating a lot of them, I do see them bringing a larger sensor that could, in fact, make the camera stick out even more than the iPhone 14 Pro Max, but it remains to be seen. That's just one area Apple always upgrades, is the camera, and this year should be no different. But I'm expecting close to, if not a 1-inch sensor on the next iPhone. But I wouldn't hold my breath on the 1-inch. I don't think they'll feel the need to go there because they already take great photos without it. But they're going to increase the sensor size. I just see it coming for sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that this is going to happen. Next up, too, is going to be the Apple A17 chip. Now, everyone knows, if you've been following iPhone, is that the A16 Bionic chip in the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max were not the biggest upgrades over the A15. They're barely upgrades at all. But the A17 is rumored to be a much bigger leap than the A16, changing the actual nanometer of the chip, and it should be even faster. And finally, you might be able to see an even bigger performance increase. You're probably not going to see it on general iOS performance because every day it's super smooth. At this point, it's pretty refined and polished. Nobody really even takes advantage of the full power of the iPhone. Most people don't. I'm not going to say nobody. Most people don't. But I do expect to see the A17 really take it to the next level and even beat the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 on the Galaxy S23 Ultra. Now, I also want to mention my expectations for battery life. Now, I do think because they're going to combine the A17 chipset with the, iPhone 14, 15 Pro Max, they're going to probably only increase the battery slightly, or they might even decrease it if they find the A17 is so efficient that it actually increases the battery life over the iPhone 14 Pro Max. So that's kind of a wild card to me, but I do think they should increase the size, because if they're going to go to a titanium shell, they should make the phone even a little thicker, because I think people at the Max category who buy the Max phone probably don't even care if it's a little thicker, if they're going to get longer battery life. So that's just something to keep in mind. And I expect this phone to launch in the second week of September. So we're in June right now. We got July, August, and then right here in the second week. They don't usually launch it around Labor Day and the launch of school. They usually launch it about a week after Labor Day. So either September 11th, or September 12th, probably September 12th. They're probably not going to do it on 9/11 Memorial Day. They'll probably do it on September 12th. And then I expect a launch on maybe September 22nd or even September 29th, with pre-orders probably starting on the 15th. So that's kind of my expectations for the iPhone 14 Pro's upgrade, the 15 Pro and Pro Max. So if you are looking for this upgrade, let me know what you expect to see, what you want to see. But I got to say, man, I'm excited. If they bring a deep red color option, if they bring the USB-C, the longer zoom, potentially different edges, thinner bezels, I think it's an exciting upgrade. It's not like leaps and bounds different, but I just like seeing upgrades to the iPhone series, and the camera being a bigger sensor. If they bring that, the red color option, there's just a lot. And I don't think this is going to be your iPhone 10 moment that Tim Cook had, where it kind of just changed the whole future of what the iPhone looked like. I think we're going to wait for the 16 on that model, but the 15 Pro and Pro Max are likely going to be some really hot phones coming very shortly here in a few months. So I'm excited. Let me know if you guys are excited and what you want to see on the upcoming iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, enjoying, informational, click the like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you all in the very next episode. Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well, and peace.